So, welcome. Today we're going to do a workshop about the real life applications of AI for business. This is going to be an interactive workshop, and we're going to do some live demonstrations. So, the agenda is as follows. This workshop should be approximately 1 hour. It might be a little bit shorter, depending on how fast we go. So the first thing I'm going to do is a little bit of a presentation about the use cases of AI. And I have several use cases, and I'll demonstrate most of this presentation slash interactive workshop will be about large language models. So there are other tools that exist, but right now we're going to be focusing on the most popular AI LLMs, and we're going to talk about the best ways in which we can use them for business. And so in the first part, I'm going to show a few different ways of using them for a few different purposes. And then it's really good that we have some entrepreneurs here because I want to make it a little bit more personal about your businesses. I'll ask you what kind of challenges you have, and we'll talk about how AI can be used for your specific business and use case. And we're going to do a live demonstration of that as well, so we can discuss your business, and then we will see how the AI can help you with that. Then we're going to do a little bit of a discussion about what your favorite things were that you learned today. And maybe if you have some comments or questions or feedback, then I would love to hear it. So then I will just start with the most effective use cases that I have come across for using large language models. And I have ChatGPT open here as well. So we're going to be doing demonstration of the power of LLMs and how they can be used. So these are the three main use cases which I think are really helpful for businesses. And then it's also important to discuss when it's not a good idea to use AI. So the first one is research. And AI can be used to quickly research topics and summarize information. So it's important to discuss a little bit about how to do this because I find that if you want to do very in-depth research on very niche specific topics, AI sometimes is still inaccurate because the data set is not specialized for that on which the AI is trained. But if you want to do an overview of a certain topic or just get a quick start for the research you want to do, then AI is really helpful. So let's maybe do an example. Does anyone have an idea of a market they would be curious about? If not, then I'll just come up with my own example. So let's say you want to open a tennis court, then maybe you live in the Netherlands and you're curious about how big the market for that is. So I live in the Netherlands and I want to open a tennis court. Give me information about that market. Is it competitive? What is the size? How many clubs are there? Are there any cities where a tennis club could be opened? So let's see what it comes up with. Um, and while we're doing this, let's talk a bit more about research. So the problem is still that AIs sometimes are either not up to date if they don't have proper connection with the internet, or they sometimes still hallucinate information. So it's important to double check any important facts that you are relying on, which you get from the AI. But this is so much faster having this generate over here, then trying to Google things. And if you put this in Google, you may have to read like 20 websites to get this same information that it will generate here. So it already gives things that I didn't even think about asking, like the year-over-year growth of the tennis market. Then it knows how many clubs there are, and it also provides sources. So things have gotten better. So then instead of taking it for its word about these numbers, you can go directly to the source and you can analyze whether it's a trusted source. So you can see it has partners and there's some statistics and there's a report. So I think finding websites through AI to get information like this is a lot faster than Google currently. And you can also see that because Google is uh, often redirecting searches through AI now instead of just showing you the links directly. Then you can also click on this and you can see information about specific cities and things like that. And it'll even give you information like this. For example, if you don't already know, if you haven't done this research beforehand, which is why we're doing the research now, you can see it gives you an estimate. Now, these numbers, it's important to double check this and not take this just for its word and take it for granted because you don't know where it's getting these numbers. But it suggests that if you want to have 4 outdoor tennis courts, the investment may be between 300,000 and 800,000. Again, once again, this is a large range. But as it said already, it depends on the city in which you are doing this. And then it'll even give you a summary of what it thinks is the best game plan. So then it tells you what to look for, things like places with population growth and also if there's not already existing clubs and things like that. So in terms of research, there's a lot you can do with AI. But I also wanted to highlight the other ways in which AI can be used. For example, for brainstorming and feedback. So maybe the club idea is seeming unrealistic. You don't have 300 to 800,000 euros. So let's say, okay, I don't think I can open a club based on that amount of investment, but I still really like tennis and know a lot about it. Are there any related businesses that I can open? I am good at making racket designs, but I'm open to new ideas. So let's see what it comes up with. And this is something that I think is good if you don't have a general idea yet, and you can talk to it a lot about your ideas. So there are 2 levels of brainstorming. One is to come up with the initial idea, and then the second one is feedback. So if you've chosen an idea, you can present your idea to the AI, and then it will tell you what it thinks about your idea. So it says, yeah, the best tennis businesses are not actually clubs. Tennis racket customization is its favorite choice of a business opportunity. And then it gives more detail about this. But let's say you don't actually want to make a racket design company, then it also gives you other ideas. For example, an analytics business or a court booking software like a CRM or some kind of social media uh, management company. So it gives you a lot of ideas. So then this is how I would do preliminary research. It would list you a bunch of different business models that you could use, and then you can talk to it about the one you like best. So let's say you want to do a tennis analytics business because, for example, I'm interested in computer science. Let's say I want to make some kind of dashboard. So I really like the idea of making an analytics business for tennis. Could you give me more information about what that could entail and how I would make it viable? So as I was saying, in terms of brainstorming and feedback, there are two things, the broad stroke and the depth. So we did broad, and you can go broader than this. You can tell it to generate you even more than just these eight ideas that it came up with. But once you pick one, then you can go in depth on one specific idea. So then it will tell you things like this is the most interesting ideas, which I don't really like. So let's actually tell it, um, could you please make your responses shorter and only provide vital information rather than telling me what you think about each idea? So in this format, when you ask it to tell you things more straight to the point, you can get even faster in terms of your understanding. So it will tell you for an analytics business, you need to think about the customers and what they could be, so junior players. Then you think about what services you would provide, video analytics, tactics report, opponent scouting. And of course, if you have some understanding of tennis, then maybe this will mean something to you. Then it will tell you to make your minimum viable product where you provide the key statistics, and it even suggests to you how you can price your product and also how much investment this would take. So we went from 300,000 in opening a tennis club down to 100 to 500 for building a website and 0 to 100 for storage on the cloud. And you can start this business for less than 1,000. Of course, this is not accurate because you would need someone to create the analytics software for you. Or, of course, if you have some coding knowledge, then you could ask AI to do it and you could edit its code. So then the last thing I wanted to quickly share before we move on to things that are more personal is sketching. I was really impressed, for example, with Claude. I asked it to create a HTML demo of a dashboard um, for some kind of analytics. So I asked it to include revenue and a calendar, and it did that. So this is just one sentence prompt, and it created this HTML page where it shows you the revenue, the new customers, the order value, and then you have the calendar over here and the monthly revenue over here. So what I would use this for is minimum viable products or quick design for something that is not super important. So if you have a website and you have a page, uh, so not the homepage you want to put a lot of effort into, maybe a page where like frequently asked questions does not have to have some kind of special formatting. So you could use this to greatly reduce the time it takes you to build that page. Then I also want to highlight when using AI is not actually the best choice. So some tasks are generally slower with AI, and I've found that if I need to provide a lot of context for something, if I'm asking the AI to do something that requires a lot of context, then providing this context may actually take you longer than doing the entire task yourself. For example, if I have to write one paragraph about Lidi Smart Solutions for, let's say, a partner identification form, then I prefer to do this myself, using everything I know about our team and our company, rather than trying to find all of the documents describing what our portfolio is and things like that. Then, otherwise, AI is also not particularly creative in the traditional sense. So if information is in its training data set, then it will be able to tell you what you're asking for, but it still does not have the capability to make new ideas. So if you're trying to make an innovative project, it may be difficult to use AI for coming up with these ideas because if it's not been done before, then the AI has no way of knowing about it. And the best highlighted example of this is during my marketing minor, where we were asked to use AI for our group uh, presentations and projects, where we had to use an idea that the AI has given us. And of course, all of the groups did this separately, and we had a shocking amount of overlap. So we had maybe 5 groups that were doing the exact same idea because the AI will suggest 10 ideas and they are pretty much the same ones every time. So if you want something that's really unique, then maybe don't base uh, this idea on something that the AI tells you. So in that case, I would use the second form of brainstorming, which is feedback. So I would come up with the idea and then use the AI to iterate and improve over it using techniques that have already been established and that the AI is aware of. Finally, making decisions using AI is a complicated topic because it can support you in terms of research, in terms of knowledge about topics you haven't already uh, done a deep dive on. However, the decision making should still be up to you in terms of business because you have all the context that the AI does not have about your own knowledge and skills, about the resources you have access to, about people that are in your circle, about the market at a more local level. And all of this information can be used for making decisions in your business. And the AI does not have access to this information unless you specifically tell it to. So if you have a decision, for example, bet between choosing one or two, then it can better tell you which idea you should choose. But if you have an open-ended question, then the AI will provide solutions which are not always entirely relevant. So that is the presentation section of this workshop. And that's everything I wanted to say initially. And now I want to make it more interactive and personal. So for the entrepreneurs in our audience, I would like to ask you about your businesses, and then we can discuss what the most effective ways are that you might want to use AI in your businesses. So do we have any volunteers? Dina
Come on,
or
Dina.
Ian?
We can use Dina business idea. If you remember. I don't know if Dina can talk now. Or Jing. I don't know. Jing, you are with the camera on also.
We have a business idea, but I'm not sure how this helps because we are more much
Let's
more.
try. Let's try because it's AI over AI. In
Yes.
this
So
idea.
it's perfect. If you're not sure about it, that's exactly what we want here. Uh,
Um, yeah, but for us, we haven't built the tool actually. So we built the what we call the AI opportunity scouting. So basically, it's many companies they wanted to adopt AI, but they don't know how. And what we have done, sometimes they do have like business case, but still they are really in the early phase. So what we try to do is we build what we call the AI opportunity. So basically you are talking to AI and the AI will be asked the questions and based on the questions to identify the problem statement because most beginning it's about problem statement. So that's we already done that. We have not deployed to the public yet.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically it's built on the top of the cloud. So it's like chatbots, but it has much more intelligent than the chatbox. So able to challenge you, question you, and able to ask the question without actually need the data and the privacy part.
Okay. So if I understood correctly, the business idea is that you're making an AI that will ask people about their businesses and guide them on how to implement them.
So basically, the business idea is very simple. It's doing consulting work. So basically, when the company they want to adopt the AI, they start asking the consulting, and the consulting company come in, they try to do it, right? And that will be a early part. So what we have built the AI tool, what we call the AI opportunity, it's early scouting. So basically, before you are hiring consultants, you can talk to AI. So AI consultant for you where you're supposed to do. And then afterwards, you have defined your problem statement to scope. Now there's a consultant come in to help you to build the tools, implement it. Yeah.
Okay. So you're using AI for the implementation of the business, but are you using AI in any way to help with the analysis of what you need to do to make this business succeed?
Yes, so basically this opportunity is scouting to what we have been built now. This is exactly it's helping us to identify which company is our target group or not. Because after they talk to the AI, so the AI will be sent, let's say, like consulting notes to them to say, okay, this is good or not, and then they will send the copy to us as well. So for us, it's the perfect way to scouting of the organization because actually today it's quite manual work. So I'm the one booking the meeting with the organization to sit down to know their problem and to define the problem and to say this is solvable, this is not solvable, or this is how to going forward. And this is quite manual. So basically I'm building the tool just to replace this 1 hour conversation talk with AI and AI do it. And afterwards AI did research and mapping and then after then me decide which company I supposed to continue go further. So it's just let's say automate some of my tasks for me. And so it's not the business idea, it's about more automation of what I do now.
Yeah. Um, so you're automating what you do, which is something AI can certainly be used for. And also, you can also optimize what you're doing uh, using AI. So, for example, you can use AI as a focus group, kind of as we mentioned in this brainstorming and feedback stage. You can tell it, for example, the profile of the person you are onboarding. So you're having this 1 hour conversation with somebody and you can tell the AI everything uh, about this person. So not personal details, but what their business is, the approximate size,
So what
and
we've been building on, this is like open tool. So it's like open, not open AI, if you think. So this tool will be sent out to the people to want to play and talk. And we already defined the questions.
hmm
So basically AI will be asked the questions and then you'll get some answers. So it's like consulting, right? So when you're doing the consulting, you usually come to ask the company to say, okay, how was your process? How was your current operation? Where do you operate? How many people? And where was the challenge? etc., etc. So we built defined questions. So then we just send out to people, and people start filling in. And after they fill in, each time we got a report. We got a report, and based on that, is then we analyze this report to see, okay, this is company we should target, this is company we should not target. So it's a bit more advanced than just searching with open AI. That so we built it
nice.
all to on the top of let's say OpenAI or cloud. We use cloud.
So you're building the app using Cloud API for LLM responses.
Yes. So we are just telling Cloud Code to say this is define the questions, what you need to ask, but also you have the intelligence enough to say if the company to say, we have 200 people located in Oslo, so the AI will not to just say, okay, next question is, for example, what type of the industrial you operate. So AI will be based like a real conversation. When you talk to people, if the people telling you, I have 200 people based in Oslo, the next question you probably would be asking, are they all in the production or are they all in the let's say the office, or so you wanted to understand the structure than just you have the like question defined, because when you're going to talk to the real people, it's a conversation. So we also try to ask the AI when now it's in the way you do it earlier, it's most like you ask the question to the AI give you the feedback. So we make the reverse wise. AI will be asked the question, human will be provided the question, provide the answer. So in this way, it has to be like a real conversation. So AI will be understand, okay, when you say something, I need to follow up the questions, but this has been built in the top. So in the end, what we want, the ultimate is to understand the company profile to doing
Yeah.
the. So basically, what you have done, like you typed market research, we don't use that anymore because that's just too weak. It's not really solve the real pain, because when you come to this type of discussion, you really understand the company structures. You really can understand of the company's problem statements. But what you do when you ask the AI, it's very generous and it's a lot of data. And also there's a isolation problem with AI. So many of the data you have to double check and then ask the references where it is.
Yeah, exactly. So what you're talking about is the next stage after this. So this
Yes.
is if you're just starting out with your business, you don't know what you're doing yet, you can use AI in these ways to make that process faster and easier. And then you've actually implemented AI within the business, which is a step after that. And it's a very good example of how AI can be used within the business. So that's the automation of actual business tasks, so like talking to clients, because of course if you have set up this conversation that usually takes you 1 hour to complete and there's only one of you, then you can only do a few clients every single day. And if you want to scale, you have managed to make this AI have this conversation, ask these questions, generate these reports for you, then you can have as many of these agents as you want running at the same time, depending on how many clients want to book a call with you.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, so that is a very good example of the application of AI. Of course, this is a little bit more technologically advanced, depending on whether you're building this tool yourself, because as you said, you're building the tool around Claude, and you're using Claude for responses, but you're not directly using a product that already exists on the market, right?
Now this is our own tool, so we build our own site. So
Yeah.
we AI today, you can build many tools as you want. You can build the app just for yourself. You don't have to deploy it into, Apple Store or something. It's just for your own purpose, and that's easier, and also that's customized. Of course, if you deploy it, there's a deployment cost, and also you want somebody else to use it. So what we do is. I think the way we use AI is how to optimize your own workflow, and how do you, because me and Gabi, we're just two people, right? So we have to do a lot of work ourselves. So we have to really automate it as much as possible. And also we need to be, let's say, build a lot of the tools which support our operations. And that's, I think, in many companies started doing it, especially small companies, you are 2 or 3 person. and you have no money to hire a bunch of the people, so you have to optimize. You have to build the small tools, like I saw another day there's one company. They built like an automation flow of the AI agent that help them to do the marketing and the branding, and also to do the content creation in the link on the LinkedIn and also on the Instagrams. So and that's the real cases to help us. There are also a tool actually already there, but maybe sometimes when you are in your business, maybe those two is too heavy and too expensive, or sometimes it's not fit for you. You can just build yourself, and it's quite easy with codecs and cloud code nowadays. You don't have to learn any language. You just actually telling the AI what to do, and build it, and then you don't have to deploy it. You just actually plug it into your workflow. So even much more simple than that.
Yeah, and then you create your own tools, which you can use in your own business.
Yes.
Yes. Although this does require uh, people to have some kind of technical understanding or background to be able to build these tools.
Mm, not really, because I don't understand anything of the code, but I played with AI a lot. So I tried different type of tools, and many times when I get stuck, the bugs, it doesn't work. I ask another AI works. So basically, I use OpenAI, I use Cloud Code, I use Codex. Those two I use quite a lot. Before I also use Grok. Grok is much more on the research. I use time to time, but I think now the cloud has been replaced some of the function from the Grok, and also Gemini I use time to time as well. And I think this time Gemini inside of there's this gems which creates your agent. That's cool. But then I was also trying to play with different tools and try to see which one's the best. In the end, I landed still with Cloud Code and also the OpenAI, and also Cloud Code, which you can actually build up the skills. So there's many skills which you can download and plug in. So actually, my Cloud Code has different skills, can write the presentations, so documents, and also can change some of settings in the files. So there's different type of skills you can actually do it. And also you can build your own knowledge pool. I use Obsidian and connect with my Cloud Code as well. So there's a few.
Ok, estás-me a ouvir? Foi convidado da minha família para ir ver os últimos ensaios da.
Yeah. So there's a few tools which you can use and to optimize your work. That's also you can, if you don't know one tool doesn't work, you can ask another one. Like I always ask Cloud Code, what's happening with OpenAI? This is what's not working, and OpenAI telling me the Cloud Code how to fix it. So I ask those two codes, two products to help them to do that checking and debugging for me. Yeah, it's just a matter of how you play it. I played a lot each day, so in the beginning I bought Lavables. I tried. I bought so I paid different prescriptions for the different tools. And now I think I only pay the cloud codes and also the codex. And I started using Gemini, but before I kept use a lot of this notebook LM a lot to actually build the knowledge base. But now I moved that to the Obsidian. Yeah, so that's so for me actually you don't need code. I never read the code and don't know any of the code.
Yeah, so that is one benefit of how good AI is getting now, that it can even generate code with no problems anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, yeah, because a while ago it was that it would generate code, but the code would not work and you need to debug it and stuff like that. But now it's improving. And also, I think you mentioned Lovable. That's for generating website pages, right?
Yeah, for a web page or phototype is good. So basically, if you want to build something, you can phototype it and then you dump it into the cloud code and to just start building it. So it gives you the sketch, and also I use a bolt as well, and sometimes also build small apps. So actually, I use to make the small apps build the sketch to do that. So that's a few things. Yeah, it's interesting for me.
Yeah, and that's another thing I want to point out that new tools are being built every single day, and people are creating specific tools for specific cases, which are kind of like wrappers around the LLM. So, for example, if you want to, I don't know, create some slides, there are a lot of tools that will automatically generate slides for you. Or I also recently experimented with Figma's AI generator. So I just told it to generate a poster and it generated a poster for me. So
Even for the like create presentations on those, now I just use cloud because I there is a skills you can download and ask the cloud to do it. So then you don't need another tools because before you have this canvas, you have the pitch.com which you can actually connect. And so for me now, I don't I cancel the prescription for the canvas because I download these skills for the cloud code. So actually my cloud code with the canvas is connect more or less together. So I just ask cloud to say, okay, make the pitch deck for me, and the cloud make the pitch deck, and then also the based on the styles. So actually, in a way, it's I canceled a lot of prescriptions, many
yeah,
things use anymore, and also in before I also tried I haven't tried actually. I want to try, didn't get time, is to cursor as well. Many people say the cursor is great, and you don't know so much program, you can still use it. I haven't tried yet. I was just trying to limit the how many apps I'm using, because before, I paid every prescriptions and tried, but now I
yeah,
started it, and also I realized now you can actually teach AI on the skills. Like Codex, you can add the skills. Cloud Code, you can add the skills, and also you can even ask a Codex to actually edit your videos. So there is a more function because before I remember I bought this. I don't remember the two names. There were several. You can cut the videos, and but they are all based on the Gemini's model, this Nano Banana thing, which you can actually edit the pictures and the videos. But now you can actually download the skills and ask the Codex and Cloud Code to do that. So I find actually that would be reduce my cost, than actually buying different tools.
yeah. That's also the nice thing that as these LLM companies are growing their offering, they are making it so that all of the micro tools and plugins that were previously created by other people, they are actually becoming native to Cloud Code, as you said, with these skills.
Mm.
So for a lot of things now, you can even do it directly with Cloud, and you don't have to look for third-party LLM wrappers for specific use cases. Of course, it depends how niche it is, what you want to do. So I'm not currently familiar with all of the things that you're actually able to do using the skills in Cloud Code. But I imagine it's not completely everything that's available just in the broader internet of developers that have made their own offerings.
The GitHub, right? So on a GitHub, you can download a lot of skills, and sometimes for me, it's just people refer me to, have you tried these skills? And then I see it's a high rate star, so I just download it and try it. And also in the cloud code itself, in the cloud where there's a bunch of the skills already good enough, so I use that as a start. I also try to download one of this they call the fire document or something, but somehow my computer is really old computer, so I'm not able to connect that MCP together. So actually, I was thinking to buy the new computer because also I'm building my own this knowledge base, and on the knowledge base, you need to have like small LM models on your computer, and can help you. And my computer is too old. I don't have enough of the memories and also computer to run it, small language model on my computer.
Are you familiar with virtual private servers?
No.
So actually, you can basically rent someone else's computer. It's uh, like a virtual private server means that it's yours, so it's private. But you don't have to buy the actual hardware, so you can run whatever you want to run on a computer somewhere in the cloud. Like it's kind of like having your own website hosting, but then just as a server, so you can run whatever you want on it.
Hmm. That's interesting. I haven't tried that. I was also thinking how to, because I was also learning to see how to download a language model, how to run it in my computer, and how to do that myself. And then I stuck with downloading because my computer is too old. I don't have enough memories and also the computing. So I stopped there. Yeah, I was just built. I just started building my knowledge base in Obsidian. I've not really dumped all my nodes and also everything together yet. So it's still a lot of work, but I'm still testing. And for me, my advice to everybody is just to try out and to connect yourself with the community, because many of those skills for me was I learned from the community. People started, oh, have you tried this? Have you tried that? And then I started, okay, this is cool, and I learned a lot of the skills, the names I was not really sure, and then suddenly yeah, it's interesting. So for me, it's really about connect with the community, testing, try it, and also build your own. And AI, you have to build your own. You have to try it because you cannot just listen somebody to say, okay, cloud code is good or codex is good. Actually, even people have a different use of codecs and cloud code. For example, one of the person in our community, she used both. She used a codex to build some part of her product and use cloud code to build other part of the functions, and then she puts together. So it's also different. You have to try it to see which part is better, which part is not, because there are two different models, but I clearly see that codex is more creativity and cloud code is not. Code is like old teacher in the school telling, no, you cannot do this, you cannot do that. There is much more restriction. While when you use codex, it's very creative. And of course, that's also the temperature in the model, probably how they did it. So for the codex, it's very creativity, and that's why I still using ChatGPT, because every time when I want to be creative and ask a random question. ChatGPT give me a lot of the inspirations, but then I use that to come to the cloud, and I challenge. Cloud will be really challenge those creativity to say, no, you cannot do this, you cannot do that. So actually, the best way is you have to try and to see which one you like, which one you work. So
Yeah,
that's how to apply for the AI into your life.
and I completely agree with that. I think using a lot of different models is super helpful, and they all give you a different perspective on it. Also, for the running locally things like that, I think there's a big discrepancy in the hardware requirements for certain models. So some models are smaller, some models are bigger, things like that. And I would say, especially for you, the nice thing about uh, renting a computer instead of building your own is that, well, first of all, it's cheaper because you don't have to buy, set up, maintain all of that. But the other nice thing is you can change the parameters because most of these things are on farms, so they can just give you more RAM if you ask for it. So if you're using it a lot, you can ask them to give you a lot more RAM, and then if you're not, you can use way less. So then it's also become it the price is directly correlated with the usage, and you're not paying upfront like you would if you were building your own computer. So I think that might be interesting for you to explore if you're going down that route.
I was more because I wanted to build actually my own, let's say, AI agent in my computer, which I'm just telling my computer connect with my cloud code, let's say cloud, and I just telling cloud, can you actually, because I do have some files in my computer and they're double files, I have been copy pasting in the different photos, so the structure is quite chaotic and quite messy. I don't have a really have a time to sit there to structure my folders and everything. So that's why I was thinking to have the large language model connected with my computer and telling me, okay, can you sort out those folders and make sure there's no double files, there's no nothing, and also every time for me to find something in the computer, I have to really look at every folders and try to find it. And of course, you can find it. The problem is take time. And right now, the most precious things we don't have is time. So I was just thinking it's connected with the large language model on my computer, and then I just telling, okay, can you find this file for me, and also can you find this sentence for me? So I just want to look at the file much more quick. Than actually I have to go through all the files and everything. So that's why I wanted to have a large language model on my computer, and also to link with my personal and calendar as well, because now I have like personal emails and I have work emails. They all have two calendars, and they now I have plugged them together. But still, is sometimes it's difficult to remind of me. There's the emails, there's this. So I wanted to have like my own AI agent in my computer and tell me, okay, there's a now it's time you have this call with this person, and also help me to really thinking what was happened with this person, what was the last call, because many times I do have like memories to remember what was the discussion, but maybe some action points I forgot or something, I have to look at the notes, and that's also time consuming, and it's not really productive for the meeting. So what I really want is to have the AI agent to say, okay, I'm going to, for example, I'm going to have a meeting with Rita, and what we have been discussed the last time, and then telling me right in front. So then for me to very good prepared for the coming to the meeting, and I don't have to read two meeting notes. I just need one meeting note from the AI right now, summary everything, and then I just bring the meeting. So it's like a personal assistant in a way.
Yeah.
That's just what I want to do. That's why I was thinking to buy the most expensive computer and have the large language model run my computer and
Yeah.
help.
I think actually for some of the things you mentioned, you don't even need the most advanced models for this. Like rearranging files, I think you can do with a relatively lightweight model. But yeah, I mean, of course, having your own computer and making your own AI on it is a very interesting project, and I think it would be interesting to see what you come up with. I
Yeah.
will say that we're running out of time, and thank you for your contribution because I think this conversation was really interesting. Then I would like to summarize. Maybe what was your favorite thing that we talked about today? What stood out the most to you?
For me or for everybody?
Well, yes, since we've been talking, but also anyone else that wants to also say how they feel is very welcome to do so.
I think maybe it's better to for the others because I think I will take too much time. Thanks.
It doesn't appear that anyone else is wanting to interact. So I think from what you said, the most interesting thing to me is this automation of the onboarding flow. I'm really curious how that will go. I'm not sure if you're doing it with a voice assistant or just with text input, but I've seen that voice systems are improving. So I think in the upcoming months that might be a viable solution, and I'm really interested in finding out how that goes. Um, but yeah, in terms of business ideation, the initial stages of funding your business, these are the things that I came up with in terms of research and brainstorming. And then, of course, what Jing said is that once you have your business idea and you know what you're doing, you can automate parts of that business using AI. And for that, there's a lot of tools that need to be explored. And of course, the only way to find out what works for you is by trying all of them. So with that, I thank you for your attention and your contribution. Of course, I think that that added a lot to the workshop, and I'm glad that it was also interactive. So if no one else has anything to say, then that's it from me.